By the strength and guidance of the Nine, who comes before us upon this sacred ground, seeking the cuirass of the divine Crusader? Step forward, adventurer, and face us each in honorable combat. For the vows we fail to revere in life, we shall uphold in death. No unworthy soul shall lay hands upon this sacred artifact without the leave of the Knights of the Nine. Sir Gregory, you are defeated. Sir Casimir, step forward. Impressive. You have bested Sir Casimir. Now face Sir Ralphus. Sir Ralphus, you have fallen. Step back and let the challenge continue. Sir Henrik, come forward and prove yourself. You have overcome half of us, and yet you remain standing. Perhaps Sir Caius shall test your true mettle. You show a fury of faith that I have not seen in centuries, but now you face Sir Junkin. You have lost, Sir Junkin. Sir Torolf, show the challenger the ferocity of the North. You have stood against the Knights of the Nine and lived. However, the final test is upon you. Ready yourself, Sir Knight, and face me! Sir Knight, in 300 years, none have stood against us and lived. Step forward and claim what is yours by right. May your faith be true.
It's my pleasure. Please, continue. The original Order of the Nine was founded with the intention of safekeeping the Crusaders' relics. In life, we failed at this task. In death, we seek to preserve what little we accomplished while we wait for one to come and finish what we began. You completed the quest that I could not. I'm glad that my death at least served to lead you here, as I had hoped. One of the mightiest nights of my day. It was a great boost to the Order's prestige when he joined. Unfortunately, he and I did not see eye to eye on certain matters. He left the Order during the War of the Red Diamond and never returned.
Bye.
By the Nine! I've not seen such strength! Could you be... No, you cannot. You are simply a noble knight. Walk with the Nine, Sir Knight. Greetings, Sir Knight! In death, we continued the work that escaped us in life. The relics must still be guarded, for someday they shall be needed once more. Alas, my old comrade is not among us here. We do not know why his spirit did not join us here to guard our last relic. We were estranged in life, but I had hoped that in death we could be reconciled. For my part, I now know that I am largely to blame for the ruin of the old order. Sir Amiel takes too much upon himself. I will say no more. Go with virtue.
I know where you may find the gauntlets of the Crusader, for I was the one who lost them. Though many know where they are still lost. I believe there is something you must do in order to retrieve them. Would you listen to my tale and learn of the gauntlet's fate? When the Order fractured, I followed Sir Beric into war, taking the gauntlets with me. When it was over, I returned to Cyrodiil. I attempted to return to the service of the Nine, but the war had changed me. I no longer had sympathy for the weak or pity for the suffering. In the brief time I was there, I did more to hurt the chapel than help it. It was there that I was cursed. A beggar who came to the chapel each day for help tried my patience one too many times. I lost my temper and struck him. My blow landed harder than I had intended, and he fell to the floor dead, killed in the very chapel of the God of Mercy. I left the chapel at once, of course, but the damage was done. I was weak, constantly weary, and lacked the energy to do almost anything. Ah, yes. As proof of the deed, when I struck the poor man, the gauntlets slipped right off my hands and fell to the floor. Heavy as stone, they would not move. None could lift them. I suspect they lie there still, in Coral's chapel. You must prove to Stendarr you are worthy to lift the gauntlets once more. Seek out the priests in Coral. Perhaps they can help you. We had only the best of intentions. Truly we did. We meant only to serve the Nine and the Empire. It's hard to believe it all went so wrong. I have no doubt that they still lie within the chapel of Stendarr in Coral. No mortal man could lift them. It was placed on me for defying the teachings of Stendarr in his very chapel. My entire lineage was ruined by this curse. Whether it is connected to the fate of the gauntlets, I do not know. Walk with the Nine, Sir Knight.
You have my tribute, Sir Knight. In 300 years, none have passed the gauntlet. In 300 years, we have never known hope. But for the first time, it seems that someone may succeed where we have failed. I see in you the chance to redeem our souls and restore the order. And now, I must ask you to press forward where I could not. I must ask you to face the challenge of Zenithar. I was arrogant and foolhardy. I sought personal glory. I placed my own will and my own lust for fame over the will of the Nine. In facing the challenge of Zenithar, I failed. I tried dozens, no, hundreds of times to reach the mace. I fell each time, and each time I awoke in the chapel, I leapt again. I tried to enlist the help of the other knights, but none would come to my aid. The inscription says to walk in the faith, but even now, I do not know what this means. Below the chapel of Zenithar in Leowin, there is a shrine to the great craftsman, Saint Calidus. Those seeking the mace must pray before the shrine. When you bow, you will receive a vision. Or perhaps not, it is unclear. The priest saw that my body never moved, but it felt so real. You will see the mace, separated from you by a great chasm. The chasm represents your doubt. Your faith must be your guide across it. This is what I know. As I said, my faith was weak. I did not understand the test, and I fell from the platform each time I tried to cross. I have told you all that I know. All that is left is for you to prove yourself more worthy than I. If you seek the mace, travel to Leowin's chapel, kneel at the shrine in the Undercroft, and let your faith in the Nine be the salvation of us all. Our greed for the relics overshadowed our faith in the Nine. I can only hope that you are stronger than we were. Casimir left with the gauntlets when the Order dissolved. I heard that he lost them, but I had my own problems to deal with. Legends say that when Pelinal Whitestrake was slain by the Aelids, a messenger carried the mace to the human settlement of Leowin as a message. Centuries later, the master craftsman Saint Calidus built the Chapel of Zenithar in Leowin as a tribute to the legend. When Saint Calidus was laid to rest, those who prayed to Zenithar at his tomb began to receive visions of the mace of the Crusader. Of the original divines, Zenithar is thought to be the most in touch with the mortal realm. Some legends say that Zenithar has close ties to Kinnereth, an idea that is supported by the manner in which the two gods' realms interact. Craftsmen devoted to Zenithar are able to create and profit from the materials provided by Kinnereth's natural world. The two work in harmony, the natural world providing for the craftsman. One cannot revere Zenithar without acknowledging the power of Kinnereth. May your sword strike true.
If you are true to the teachings of Julianus, it may be possible for you to find the shield of the Crusader. When the Order crumbled, I set out on my own. After years of searching, I found the shield and brought it to Fort Bulwark for safekeeping. With the help of a few trusted friends, I began work to keep the shield safe for all eternity. I never saw my work finished. I died defending the fort from those who would take and misuse the shield. I never saw our work finished. I trust that the others carried on without me. It lies in the southeast of Cyrodiil, near the Black Marsh border. If all went according to plan, it should be very well guarded now. Believe in yourself, and use your knowledge wisely. You will pass through unharmed, and the shield will be yours. Look to the southeast of Cyrodiil to find it. I cannot say for certain what is inside,
but be prepared for anything. Though we went our separate ways when the Order fell, we all served the Nine in our hearts, all but one. History and knowledge are his domain. He is the god of wisdom and logic. He teaches us, know the truth, observe the law. When in doubt, seek wisdom from the wise. The shield is safeguarded within Fort Bulwark. It is protected, and care must be taken when attempting to find it. May the Nine guide your way.
I wish to see you succeed where I failed. I was on the path to the boots of the Crusader, but died before I reached them. Do you wish to learn what little I know? I cannot tell you exactly how to find the boots, for that will be up to Kinnereth. I can tell you to seek out her priests, though. West of the Imperial City, on the edge of the Great Forest, is a shrine. You will find them there, and they will tell you what you need to know. The wars of men undermine the service of the Nine. Do not follow in our mistakes. The boots are safeguarded by Kinnereth herself. You must be tested and prove yourself worthy to acquire them. Walk with the Nine, sir.
How may I serve you, Commander? Complacency proved to be our greatest enemy. The service of the Nine requires eternal vigilance. May the Nine guide your way.
Greetings, Sir Knight. In matters of faith, one cannot be bogged down in the affairs of this world. Learn from us. Cast aside your treasures and serve the Nine. Go with virtue. Good evening.
What brings you here, my son? Ah, yes, the gauntlets have been here for ages. I know only the basic story behind them. They're more of a novelty these days. My only real involvement with them these days is keeping the youngsters from hurting themselves trying to pick the gauntlets up. What is your interest in them, if I may ask? Oh, I'm afraid that's quite impossible. They don't move, not even a bit, as if they're the heaviest things in the world. Don't you know the story behind them? I'm not familiar with all the details, but I know roughly what happened. Yes, well, I don't know the whole thing. A great many years ago, a knight of the old order did something terrible, and the gauntlets just fell off. They dropped to the floor right where he stood, and no one could lift them. It was a sign of the curse placed upon this knight by Stendar, I think. That curse still lingers on today, in fact. Poor Kellen. Oh, why, he's a descendant of that very knight from so long ago. The curse has affected his family all these years. He suffers from it now. He came here from Hammerfell seeking a cure, but, well, there's really nothing that can be done for him, I think. He may know more of the story than I. Perhaps you should speak with him if he's feeling well enough. He's down in the chapel hall, resting. You may speak to him if you like. Be seeing you.
Hello! What is it? Is there a cure? Has Arelder found a cure? I know there's something he's not telling me. Ah, so you've heard it, have you? Terrible curse. Been in the family almost longer than anyone can remember. When I was younger, I could live with it. Wasn't so bad. But it's only gotten worse over time. I'd come here, to the place it all happened, in the hopes that something could be done. I fear I haven't much time left otherwise. Arelder has let me stay, mostly out of pity, I think. But there's something else. I swear he knows more than he tells. You've seen them, I assume. The only evidence of what happened so many years ago. Do you know that I thought perhaps I could lift them? That somehow this curse would be lifted if I could pick them up? I tried for hours, until my whole body ached, and I could barely move. I lay there on the floor next to them, weeping. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I've been at the end of my rope for far too long to be ashamed of anything. I've seen plenty of pity in people's eyes over the years. I grew up recognizing it. But with Arelder, there's something else there. And when he speaks to me, there are times I'd swear he sounds apologetic. Guilty, even. Why would that be? What reason does he have to hold back information? I know I'm a doomed man one way or the other. Speak to him if you can. Convince him to tell me what he knows as a dying man's last wish. Goodbye.
It's good to have a bit of good news in these dark times. What can I do for you, hero of Coral? I cannot face him. I know what might be done for him, but I haven't the will to do it. I wish I could help him, truly I do, but I cannot muster the strength to damn myself on his behalf. The curse, I know what would lift it, but I cannot do it. The only way to free Kellen of his curse is to take it on myself. I am not strong enough to do this, and so I am a failure. I fail Kellen every time I speak to him, and I fail Stendar every time I pray to him and do not ask for the power to lift the curse. Do you know one who would do such a thing? One who would pray at this chapel's altar? Pray to Stendar for the power to lift this curse? You too.
You've spoken to him, haven't you? And he's told you something you don't want to tell me. I need someone to please tell me what's going on. Please, help me. Have mercy on me. So what can be done for me? I know you've learned something. I can see it in your face. So someone could only lift the curse from me by taking it on themselves? No wonder Arelda didn't tell me. I'm not sure whether to call him a coward or simply say that I don't blame him. That'd be a large burden to bear. Thank you for being honest with me. I'm not sure how I feel. To know that the curse can be lifted gives me hope, but to know that it also means damning another. Would someone taking that responsibility be merciful or suicidal? Bye. Thank you for speaking to Arelda on my behalf. I don't know why they're still here. They're so heavy, and I'm so weak. What does Stendar want from me? Farewell.
Welcome, Knight Commander. I've told you, the only way to lift the curse from Kellen is to pray to Stendar for the power to free him. But that means taking the curse on yourself. You'll be marked for life, as will all your children and your children's children. Farewell.
How are you to come back to see the doomed man, have you? I don't know why they're still here. Be seeing you. How did you? I feel good. I feel good. I don't feel like death. I feel like running. Look at me. I can't believe it. I feel normal. Thank you so much. You have no idea what this means to me. I know what you've done to free me from this curse. I don't claim to understand why you take it on yourself, but I appreciate it. It means more to me than I can say. Now I think I need to start living my life. I'm going to get out of here and see the world. Thank you, friend.
I hope I can help. You lifted the curse? But that means that now you've cursed yourself. Why would you do such a thing? Take care.
Hello.
Greetings to you. A pleasure to see you. It's you. I've heard of you. You're the one restoring the Knights of the Nine, aren't you? My name is Kennardus Aholan. Like you, I am a servant of the Nine, specifically of Zenithar. I came here seeking his mace. However, I could not pass the test. I'm no crusader, but that doesn't mean that I cannot serve Zenithar. In light of recent attacks, I've signed on to protect the chapel. I'm fair with a blade, and by my honor, I'll serve the Nine in any way I can. I grew up in Cheydinhal. My father was a cobbler. My mother was an acolyte of Zenithar. She was self-taught, not part of the chapel proper. They were both killed in an accident when I was young. I became a ward of the crown and was drafted into the Imperial Army. After serving 2 tours patrolling Stros Makai, I left the service for a life devoted to Zenithar, inspired by my parents. Legends say that when Pelinal Whitestrike was slain by the Aliads, a messenger carried the mace to the human settlement of Leowin as a message. Centuries later, the master craftsman St. Calidus built the Chapel of Zenithar in Leowin as a tribute to the legend. When St. Calidus was laid to rest, those who prayed to Zenithar at his tomb began to receive visions of the mace of the Crusader. Legends say that when Pelinal Whitestrike was slain by the Aliads, a messenger carried the mace to the human settlement of Leowin as a message. Centuries later, the master craftsman, when St. Calidus... Bye. So far, things have been quiet. After the horror in Anvil, the priests here are more than a bit nervous. Legends say that when Pelinal Whitestrike was slain by the Aliads, a messenger carried the mace to the human settlement of Leowin as a message. Centuries later, the master craftsman, St. Calidus, built the Chapel of Zenithar in Leowin as a tribute to the legend. When St. Calidus was laid to rest, those who prayed to Zenithar at his tomb began to receive visions of the mace of the Crusader. Bye.
The common folk of Leowin recognize your valor, even if Count Terentius does not. What do you need, friend? I have been happy enough in the Count's service, but I am not so happy about his lovely wife and her Nibbanean advisor. Lady Alicia is uncomfortable with Khajiit ways and Argonian ways, and Dunmer ways. She is only comfortable with pure white-bread Nibbaneans. Goodbye.
Oh, hello.
Good to see you.
Have you had any luck retrieving the mace? Legends say of the original divines, Zenithar is thought to be the most in touch with the mortal realm. Some legends say that Zenithar has close ties to Kinnereth, an idea that is supported by the manner in which the two gods' realms interact. Craftsmen devoted to Zenithar are able to create and profit from the materials provided by Kinnereth's natural world. The two work in harmony, the natural world providing for the craftsman. One cannot revere Zenithar without acknowledging the power of Kinnereth.
Take care.
Who's there?
Hello? Who's there? Whatever it was, it's gone now. Damn you! This is the part where you fall down and bleed. Am I supposed to be impressed?